So if you are a geography optional student, here is the course for you. We have this optional program with the Shield IS, and the course is starting from 24th of June 2024. And you can see we have daily classes, in-depth coverage of subject, class backup of video material, then exclusive study material, writing practices, and also we have performance mapping, continuous mentorship on personal basis, and also the main examination support. So remember, this course is going to be a great course for people who are really in need of a personal mentorship and a live course. So you can connect with us at the Shield IS, and the number is given on your screen. And also on Shield IS website, you'll find many other popular courses like for GS courses, optional foundation courses, Achieve course, and also NCRT courses. So please go to the website shieldis.in and get your course. So welcome to today's revision session of 9 p.m. And as you know that you can go to our website, theshieldis.in, for the courses, and also Telegram link is given in description. So today what we are doing is very small topics, and especially we'll be focusing upon species of various kinds, which could be part of your question for prelims. So first we are talking about shikar, right? What is shikra? Basically, it's a small bird of prey distributed across Asia and Africa, right? And it's also called little banded goshawk. Okay, so this is something which you should remember. And its basic idea of habitation is that shikras inhabit forests, woodlands, and open areas like savannas. Okay, and what is important here furthermore, that this particular shikras, these small birds of prey that you say, mostly migrate from Arabia to Pakistan, India, and South Asia. So this is one important word here. So this falconry is basically keeping and training of birds of prey. So this is very famous in Gulf countries and all. So this is one of them. Now come to World Rhino Day. September 22 is celebrated as World Rhino Day. And remember one-horned rhinoceros, which is very important. So rhino horn is also used in traditional Chinese medicine as well. So there are a lot of things happening with the poaching stuff, and also it's an aphrodisiac. So many times people are looking for this rhino, and there is a lot of problems in this particular habitat conservation of rhinos because of this. So a lot of poaching pressure is there, right? So this is important. And in IUCN red list, rhinos are VU category, vulnerable category, right? And we have here Special Rhino Protection Force. In 2019 it was constituted in Assam. So this is important here. Now this is Orang National Park. You can remember here. Okay, 101, that is the population. And then Pabitra Wildlife Sanctuary, we have 102. So this is something important. And in Manas, we have 43. Coming to World Elephant Day, it's 12 August 2012. Okay, now look here. World Elephant Day was conceived by Elephant Reintroduction Foundation and its filmmaker Patricia Sims and Michael Clark. So this is important now here. And remember ivory, tusk, and elephant, all these things again. So here it's a threatened species in IUCN Red List, and African elephants are listed as vulnerable, while Asian elephants are endangered. This is important. So you have VU for Africa, and Asia, it's EN category for IUCN. Come to Project Elephant. In 1992 it was launched. So these are the basic information here. You can take a reading of it. Now come to Mike Global Efforts. What is this Mike Global Efforts? This is monitoring an illegal killing of elephants Mike program, so that you can remember. Okay, so here it is under the Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Flora and Fauna, which you know by the name of CITES. We have talked about it already. So this is part of that. Elephant corridors. Now this was part of the news as well. So if you look here, elephant corridors are very important. More than 100 elephant corridors have been identified by Wildlife Trust of India. So this is important, National Elephant Corridor Project. Now, what is the importance here? It's a keystone species, as we know. So that's why in ecology, I'm sure you must have studied keystone species, where elephants are very important for the entire ecosystem. Okay. So now if you observe here, latest man-elephant conflict examples are being given of late. So this is something why it was in news, right? So something related to maybe wildlife conflict with, human habitation. This could be part of it. So now if you observe here, lands owned by Isha Foundation based on foothills of these Velangiri mountains are located in Elephant Corridor case. So this was part of litigation. So that was there. Now you see Numaligarh refinery here in Assam. So this is also, created a golf course. So these things were part of the news here. Now, if you observe here, this Dhanagor Elephant Corridor, where farmer was killed. So this was also there. Some initiative on domestic front, if you say Rapid Response Force is there. Then you have something called Eravat. What is this? West Bengal government's initiative, Mythical War Elephant and Pet Lot Indra, dedicated to reducing man-elephant conflict. Right. So then you have radio collar and technological services. So Amur falcon is basically a migratory raptor, and you'll see these birds make daring voyages to areas in Russia and China in winters in southern Africa. Right, so this is important. Now, this breeds in Southeast Asia and northern China and migrates west through India. Right, now it feeds on dragonflies and also 22,000 kilometer of journey, and it is part of LC community in IUCN Red List. So you can look into Amur falcon. Red-crowned roof turtle here. So it's Batgur kachuga. So this is red-crowned roof turtle, one of the 24 species endemic to India. Okay, common name is Bengal roof turtle, red-crowned roof turtle. So this is important. Now let's go ahead and understand furthermore. So it is found in river sources, deep flowing rivers like Ganga, Brahmaputra basin. You'll find out Northern River terrapin. Right, so this is important as well. Look into the habitat here. Part of IUCN special status, that is critically endangered category here. It's also an amphibian, and this is important, obviously, IUCN status. Come to black soft-shell turtle. That's another important one. So here, if you observe the protection status, okay, so it has no legal protection, although critically endangered parts of sites. This is important. Now, Indian flapshell turtles. Okay, so this is important again because of the IUCN Red List vulnerable here. If you observe under Wildlife Protection Act 1972, Schedule 1 category. So very important. And also it is a freshwater species, shallow and quiet. Right, if you observe in Irrawaddy, Salween rivers, in Indus and Ganga, it is found. And this is important that it is also omnivorous here. Come to Manda buffalo. So this is Manda buffalo found in Eastern Ghats, Koraput Plateau in Odisha. And here is something, National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources. Okay, so this is a very unique breed. So NBAGR is affiliated with Indian Council of Agricultural Research, that you can see here. So again, a question related to this could be part of it. And it's also resistant to parasitic infections, less prone to diseases. So that's what is the important point here. Now comes to gecko. What is GECKOS? Geckos are reptiles found on all continents except Antarctica, and they can adapt to all conditions. Now important here is most geckos are nocturnal. Okay, and what is important here? Critically endangered category. Himalayan vulture. So if you observe, Assam State Zoo in Guwahati has achieved a groundbreaking feat. That is, Himalayan vulture is in captivity for the first time in India. And it's very important because its plumage is dominated by shades of black and brown. And also, if you know that this is very important and impressive in terms of its wingspan, camouflage, and it's also a proficient scavenger. Now, talking about IUCN category here, near threatened. So that is what is important to look into. And India, Nepal, Bhutan, China is the range where it is found. So come to ketoprofen, aclofenac, and death of vultures. Now, what is ketoprofen and aclofenac? These are non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Okay, pain treatment drugs basically. Whenever you say profen, this is used in basically pain treatment drugs. So you can observe here in arthritis, injuries, and post-surgery pain. So these drugs have been found to be harmful to vultures. Now, here is a problem that if these vultures get into this, so you know that biomagnification happens and things happen. So this is a problem. Come to clouded leopard here. So here is Nephelis nebulosa, right? Sunda clouded leopard. This is famous. So Borneo, Sumatra, Malaysia, you can see that area. And here, what is important? State animal of Meghalaya. Okay, it is state animal of Meghalaya, and IUCN is vulnerable category VU. So you can remember this. Come to eagle fall here. Now, large horned owl species, Indian subcontinent, very important. And here, least concern is the thing to remember now. Come to ecological significance, Indian eagle owls diet of rodents, right? So this is important, including rat and bandicoots. Flying fox was also very important here. So largest species of bats in India, right? This is very important. Flying fox bats, 7% of it day roosting time between environmentally vigilant. So what you observe here, it's a keystone species, and also it is considered vermin, right? Flying fox bat, vermin category. So this is something which is important to look into. And you'll see distribution is endemic to South Central Asia, right from found in Pakistan to China to Maldives Islands as well. Now, what is important here? IUCN category is least concern category. Nilgiri tar, we have talked about in earlier exams also. Again, just take a look into Nilgiri tar, species locally known as Varayadu. And if you observe here in the Mesolithic paintings also, this tar has been found in folklore, culture, life, right? So Tamil Sangam literature also it mentions. So under Wildlife Protection Act 1972, Schedule 1 species and it's endangered species in IUCN status as well. Now come to Asiatic wild dog. Again, this is look into this Asiatic wild dog. So here what you see, Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 2 it is, and here endangered species is what you find. Right, so it's also called red wolf, red dog, mountain wolf. There are many whistling dog. There are different names here. And Manas National Park, look into the national parks of India. So you see here Project Tiger Reserve, Elephant Reserve, Biosphere Reserve. All those things are important. UNESCO's World Heritage Sites. Then a question related to dolphins are many times asked. So if you observe dolphins here, there could be things that you may not be knowing. So just take here is Indus Ganga Brahmaputra area. So here you'll find dolphins as usual and a lot of things here, threats, conservation, everything is mentioned in this particular image. So you can take a reading out of it. Basically, conservation status here is endangered, that you should remember. Come to dancing frogs, endemic to Western Ghats. So here thick canopy cover is there and these thrive there, right? So this is what is important here, threatened category. So as the name tells you, it's a dancing frog because of this foot flagging situation. Now, ecological significance, remember, it's also very important in terms of food chain, ecology, and these species are threatened by invasive species like mosquito fish and others. Come to goldfish, Indo-Pacific region, Persian Gulf, and so many other places. And it's also called sea gold. I'm marking it VVI. Maybe there is a question on sea gold. So this is important here, right? It's not a goldfish. The name is goldfish. So you can remember, but it's called, because of omega-3 presence here, it's very important and its IUCN category is nearly threatened. So come to crimson rose. Crimson rose is basically a species of butterfly, right? So these butterfly, you'll see in Peninsula, Rameshwaram Island and others, it is found and it's a very important butterfly. And you can also look into, migratory species as going to Sri Lanka. So this is particularly south of India. It is found and it's known for their migration pattern and also climate and food availability. That is important. Now, if you observe World Animal Day 2023, October 4, you can look into it, and there are many other things mentioned here, like the day was first observed in 1925 by Henrik Zimmerman. Nature Watch Foundation looks into it. World Animal Day theme for 2023 was great or small, love them all. Okay, so this is something you can remember. And theme in 2020 was man and dog. Animal Lovers Day, this is there. So March 24 is something which you can remember. Come to Saiga antelope, and here you'll see Kazakhstan, Mongolia, Russian Federation, Turkmenistan. So all these erstwhile USSR. So steppe and temperate climate, you'll find it. Now come to Kazakhstan, and it has shown commendable leadership in the recovery of the species, and it's part of the CMS, which is Convention on Conservation of Migratory Species of Wild Animals. Now this is not goldfish, this is goldfish. Remember here. So it is earliest fish to be domesticated, right? And here the problem is if you release them in the wild, they become giant in size, making them invasive. So this was very important here. Come to wild yak. So wild yak is also known as this spelling, if you remember, Bos grinins. Okay, so Bos grinins or Bos mutus. So Bos mutus is basically found in Tibetan Plateau, wild yak. So if you go to Ladakh or Changthang Plateau area, also it's found in Indian region as well. Now, what is important here is the poaching of this. Okay, that's why it's important. So here, Tibetan Plateau use this male hybrid right? Zomo, it's called Zomo, female hybrid. So these you will find out there. Now, IUCN red list category here, vulnerable category, Schedule 1, according to Wildlife Protection Act, and come to European bison. So European wood bison, it's heaviest terrestrial mammal in Europe, and this is again important, near threatened species according to this. Look into Belarus, Lithuania, Poland, Russian Federation, Slovakia, Ukraine. This is the region where it is found. So mostly grassland region. And then you have bonnet macaw. So bonnet macaque is basically another species of monkey. Okay, so here if you observe, this is called old world monkey, right? Large ears, wrinkly faces, IUCN status is vulnerable. Then you have black percher, and black percher is again a species of dragonfly that you'll observe here. Seychelles Hills, you'll find it out. So least concern category here. And now in Seychelles Hills, you can observe the range is bounded by Rayalaseema uplands and the Nandayal Valley in the north. So Tirupati is the major attraction that you know here. Now coming to flying squirrel. So flying squirrel, where you will find maximum here in Namdapha Tiger Reserve. Right, so this is something which is very important. It is distinct from red giant flying squirrel, right? Another species in the same ecosystem. Now, what is the threat here? If you observe, the threat is habitat loss and degradation. Okay, so this is something because it thrives on leaves of rattan palm and also secunda. So if you are not looking into particular habitat fragmentation or loss, at least you can remember flying squirrel and this particular tiger reserve, the area of Arunachal. So it can be helpful. Pyrostria lulgi. So this is the first record of genus Pyrostria in India, and it is 15-meter tall tree that belongs to genus of coffee family from Andaman Islands. So Lulgi family, you can remember, and South Andaman is where Vandoor forest is there when it is found. So this Tirur forest near Jarva Reserve Forest. So Jarva community and it's critical endangered. So Pyrostria is not found in India, basically coming from Andamans. So this is important. Come to pokewood species. So if you observe here, it is discovered recently here, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Rivina. So Rivina andamanensis, right? Pokeweed. This is something which is important. You can check these kind of species and their names. White flies, another one. So white flies are soft-bodied wing insects, right? Aphids and mealybugs, it is related to it. Now, what is important here? These white fly species include greenhouse whitefly, band-winged whitefly, giant-winged whitefly, silver-leaf whitefly, and others. So these are some of them. Now, what is one thing that you should remember? Honeydew, right? So they produce a sticky substance known as honeydew, and honeydew left on own can cause fungal diseases. So this is also important to look into. Now, where to find whiteflies on plant? You'll find it inside the leaves. If you have seen that, it's fine. If you are interested in gardening, come to giant African snail. So giant African snail is, the name itself tells us it's from Africa, East Africa, basically. You can look into this. Now acute bladder snail. This is another native to North America, right? So this is important. Now let's go ahead in rise in butterfly species in news. So this is important. Kerala Forest Department, Travancore Natural History Society has reported it. So look into these butterfly species on the basis of survey. Southern birdwing, the largest butterfly in India. Grass jewel, the smallest, at least largest and smallest. So Buddha peacock, state butterfly of Kerala. So at least these two, three you can remember. So this is something important. Now, Indian desert cat. Look into Panna Tiger Reserve, MP, right? And also Thar Desert in Rajasthan, arid, semi-arid areas. And least concern in IUCN, Schedule 1 in Wildlife Protection Act here. This is important. Now, let's move ahead. Panna Tiger Reserve, if you look into, established in 81, Vindhyan Mountain Range, Madhya Pradesh, Cane River. At least these basics you can take a quick revision. Gharial, Beas River of Punjab. Okay. So here Beas Conservation Reserve, 185-kilometer stretch. And this is something about gharials here. So gharials sometimes called ghavials as well, right? Population of gharials are good indicator of clean river waters. So they don't live in dirty water, right? But the problem again is the dirty water itself, right? So gharials are type of crocodilians that includes crocodiles, alligators, caimans, and here International Union Conservation, IUCN, critically endangered species if you see, and Gavialis gangetus. Okay, so gangeticus, as you see, the name itself is coming from Ganga, right? Then you have vulnerable category, mugger crocodile, and saltwater crocodile is least concern. And here Beas River and Pir Panjal, Satluj, Kulu Valley, at least take a map revision of this. Come to Indian pangolin. This was already part of the earlier questions. So Chinese pangolin, Indian pangolin, you can look into it. It's part of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, right? And endangered is the category. Then you have Hornbill Festival, the famous festival of Nagaland. So you can take a look into Hornbill Festival as well. Lesser florican here again, one of the major species of bird. And if you observe for this, a lot of work is done at Dehradun Wildlife Institute of India, launches a recovery program. and it is critically endangered. Chilika Lake, I'm sure you have heard it so many times, so take a look into the lagoon lake and the areas around it. It's very important. Now, spot-billed pelican. So another one, spot-billed pelican belongs to family Pelicanidae, and this is found in India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Myanmar, Thailand, right? So it is basically something where the feather on the hind neck backside are curly, right, and grayish nape crest. So this is very interesting. And if you observe here, what is there? IUCN category near threatened. So Septemberanthus grows on plant species, Horsefida, glabra, bloom, wob, right? And heart shape is what you can remember at least. Then you have Denson barb, endangered category here. So this is also called Miss Kerala, known as red line torpedo barb or rose line shark. At least these names are there. Kerala, Karnataka, freshwater fish species, endangered category. You can remember. Eastern swamp deer. This is another one. So you see Kaziranga National Park and Tiger Reserve. There you'll find Barasingha, also called swamp deer. Right. So this is important. The name itself tells us swamp, and it's part of IUCN vulnerable category, parts of sites. So these species one by one, which I have read from this material prepared by Sheila S. At least even if you know 2-3 lines of this, I'm sure it's going to help 1 or 2 questions every year we find from these kind of species. So please take a good read, and I'll see you for the next video.